Now, Albert Pike wrote a letter to Mancini, and that was dated August 15, 1871, in which he propagated that there should be a world order, a one order where all nations are under the control of one central organization. And in order to achieve this, they planned, and there are numerous quotes for this, so I've put a number on the screen because some will say, I don't trust this, I don't trust that, I don't trust the other. Here are references down there. There are references up there. There will be references in other slides, so it comes from different sources. He said, and this was, by the way, on display in the British Museum and could be seen there until it was taken away. The First World War, to overthrow the power of the Tsars in Russia, protector of orthodoxy, and bring about an atheistic communistic state. Did that happen? Yes. Now that was written long before this event. Long before this event. This was written in 1871. This war broke out in 1914. The Second World War. That's also written long before the event. To originate between Great Britain and Germany, to strengthen communism as antithesis to the Judeo-Christian culture, and bring about a Zionist state in Israel. Did it achieve this objective? Yes. In fact, after this war, Israel, in its present form, was reinstated under the protection of Britain. And then, interestingly enough, a Third World War, a Middle Eastern war involving Judaism and Islam and spreading internationally. That's fascinating. Is that on the cards, or what do you think?
Here, the police officers, FBI agents, towers, a huge explosion now, waiting to bring out all of us.
Certainly sounds like we are on track. Well, here's another quote, just in case people don't like that quote. Mancini with Pike developed a plan for 3 world wars so that eventually every nation would be willing to surrender its national sovereignty to a world government. The first war was to end the Tsarist regime in Russia, the second to allow the Soviet Union to control Europe, the Third World War was to be in the Middle East between Muslim and Jews and would result in Armageddon. Interesting. Now, how were they going to do it? Let's read what Albert Pike wrote about these wars and how they were going to be unleashed. He wrote, quote, "We shall unleash the nihilist and the atheist," so the destroyer and the atheist, "and we will provoke a formidable social cataclysm which in its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism. Origin of savagery and the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the minority of revolutionaries will exterminate these destroyers of civilization, and the multitude, disillusioned with Christianity, will receive the pure light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer. The destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time." Wow, what a clever plan. So you rub the two systems which you create up against the other. You create atheism as an antithesis to the Judeo-Christian culture. You have these two clash until they rub each other up, and then out of that you will get a new world order where you have a new religion which is far more esoteric and actually honors Satan. Isn't that a rather clever plan? Well, it's very successful. That is why Ordo ab Cao is the verse, if you like, that Freemasonry uses. This is one of their documents, remember, that I photographed in a Masonic lodge.
Look at his clothes. He's not Iraqi. Ra'ed points out. It's not his real name, speaking to us on condition we conceal his identity. Ra'ed's wife and children are still in Mosul and could be slaughtered. Ra'ed, wanted by ISIS, just escaped with this video he shot on his phone. He believes the man he filmed is Afghan.
So he's saying we're going to go from Mosul to Baghdad to Jerusalem. And he says he was speaking in broken Arabic and clearly wasn't Iraqi.
Ra'ed's experience in the images a rare glimpse into the murky world of ISIS and how it solidified its grasp.
See, the kid is giving the ISIS fighter a kiss.
Some of the women were even throwing chocolate on them and shouting, "You saved us from the security."
When countries in the alliance are threatened, the message is we have the ability, we have the will to protect the territorial integrity of the NATO alliance.
And tonight we saw an example, capable air forces flying over Latvia, paratroopers jumping, holding the ground with all the other elements. And I think if I were a taxpayer here in this country, I would have said that is good results.
When Ukraine crisis escalated, Latvia and also all Baltic countries asked the NATO to increase the NATO visible presence here in our region.
Now we've got to shift, and we've got to shift towards operational preparedness. We've got to be prepared for what's next after Afghanistan. As I said before, we don't know where this next crisis is going to be. So we've got to plan against every contingency. And what this truly gives NATO is it shows tactical interoperability amongst our allies so that we can deploy and accomplish any mission given to us.
Interoperability means militarily that we can work together, that we understand each other, that we have the same procedures and the same tactics, and we practice it together. And tonight we have seen soldiers from 10 nations working together, and we saw the results. It was perfect.
Exercise Steadfast Javelin 2 are absolutely fundamental to the operational readiness of NATO and all the nation's forces in it.
Attenzione, attenzione! Non andate dietro l'obiettivo!
By definition, if you are in an alliance, you need to train as an alliance with all the members of the alliance. Because if you don't do that, you're not going to be interoperable, you're not going to be effective, and you're not going to be able to deliver your mission.
To everyone who thinks bad things, watch out, do not attack NATO, because you will be hit afterwards. We will strike you and we will battle you down. So better you do not attack. I think this is our message also. That goes to everyone. And I think Steadfast Javelin demonstrate that we have the capability to train and exercise, and also at the same time we can ensure that the alliance is prepared to defend its territory and their people.
If paragraph number 5 will be used, it is necessary that all participants from NATO countries already knows each other, and it's more easy to start operation where it is necessary.
Make sure you do your lap belt.
We don't know where we're going to go to next, what operation or what mission or what crisis is going to pop up around the world. We're not going to deploy there alone. We're going to deploy with our allies. So if we're going to deploy together, we've got to train together. And that's why this exercise, to give them a really complex objective, was to tackle a very difficult challenge is what's going to make us ready for tomorrow, whatever that challenge would be.
But I'm convinced, as a NATO officer, together we can achieve great things, and tonight it would not be possible without those elements from Italy, Latvia, Germany, Poland and all the other nations to be successful.
When we're going to be needed, our nations won't ask if we're ready. They're going to expect it. And I think you saw here tonight that we're ready.